This is the Freedom Fighters Podcast, keeping a watchful eye on the news that matters.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Joe and Chuck and the Freedom Fighters Podcast. Welcome. Today is May 14th. It is a Thursday, and I'm glad to have you here with me this afternoon. I'm going to hit just a few things today, a couple things longer than others. You know how it goes around here. I get talking and my husband's already threatened to kind of cut the neck off. So I'm going to make it quick. If you can hang with me for those 20 minutes, I would really appreciate it. Maybe just a tad longer or a tad shorter. I would like just to remind everybody, if you would hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button to join the Freedom Fighters Podcast to help us spread the word that America is back and that we're going strong, we would really appreciate it. We love hearing from everyone. So please put your comments down in the comment section. You can comment anywhere you'd like, or if I ask you a question, please comment back. I'd really love to hear from you. We want to know what you're feeling, and please join us. As always, I do my best to reply to all of you. We are, just to let you know, now across YouTube, Rumble, and TikTok. So again, please hit that subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss any episodes or any news, and put the thumbs up. It helps this to go viral, helps it to go wherever we need it to go to help build the channel. We really appreciate it. Chuck and I are working on bringing you the best news for the week and the best news of the day that we can. We're going to be expanding our podcast soon. We'll let you know that news will be coming in midsummer. Okay, let's see. Let's just go ahead today, and we're going to start with a new bill that was passed. This is for all the older folks out there, more like my generation up, and the elders. I know most of my class says we're not elders yet, but I think we're getting there. May not feel like it, looking like it though, and some mornings feeling like it. Well, anyway, seniors, USA Senior Law Guide said that about May 4th, or on May 4th, the elder bill was finally passed. It is the beginning of hopefully better care for our elderly, which we have long time needed. It said some things require you to apply, some require you to update your records. That's the programs that they're going to have. Some are going to have you enroll enrollment through Windows, that if you blink, you'll lose it forever. So don't blink, get in there and get it done. The time span on these is just small. So get in there and get it done. Look at the elder care bill, see what's available. I believe that you can go to any government site such as Medicare and Medicaid, or even the Social Security, like SSI or SSDI, or just plain Social Security. So this is what's changed for legal retirees and their families. Grab a pen and take some notes. If you'd like to share this with everyone, we'd love that. Just pass it on. I have just a briefing of what this bill is about. It's actually very long. I haven't gotten into the entire bill. I'm afraid it would bore you, but please check it out. Like I said, and it should be on the Senate site, or the House site, or the White House site. Check it out though, elderly. You need to look at it. Okay. So here's just a brief overview. Just from the beginning, where the bill came from and from why it matters for decades, elder care care protection bill changes everything. It's one of the most comprehensive senior-focused legislatives in more than a decade, possibly more than half a century. And it is focused, obviously, for the elderly. It touches nearly every area of life that matters most to anyone that is over 60. Healthcare, housing, finances, mental health care and giving, and personal safety. These are all reasons we need to talk about it and to get it detailed, because, these things are coming, going, and a lot of programs they keep taking out on us. This is a new one, and this one is supposedly expanded to help us. So let's hope that Trump and his administration has indeed reached out to the elderly and helped them. Okay, this news cycle moves fast, but the details, the real practice changes, and where the real money and real protection, it will show you and your family that Trump's administration does care about us. Okay, the first one I'm going to talk about is basically prescription drug pricing reform. Okay, real money is back in your pocket. Okay, let's start with some of the real changes. Medicare for years. Medicare was legally prohibited from negotiating drug prices with pharmaceutical companies. The biggest buyer for medications. Can you believe that? The biggest buyer for medications in the world was not allowed to negotiate prices for their medications. It's just silly. So America was banned by law from using its leverage or its size to bring its prices down. Private insurances could negotiate. Very unfair, but it's the truth. The Department of Veterans Affairs could negotiate, but Medicare and Medicaid could not. The result: seniors in the U.S. were paying prices that were some of the highest prescription drug prices in the entire world. And that is totally accurate. I mean, you wouldn't believe some of the differences in prices. It would really, really upset you. I'm sure that some of the seniors could tell you this, though. However, for the exact medication in Canada, Germany, and Japan that they'd be getting for that fraction of a cost, we paid almost triple price. The Elder Care Protection Bill expands and accelerates drug pricing in a major way. Understand, and you need to understand, under the new provisions, Medicare can now negotiate prices on a significantly broader list of medications than ever before. That means they added on medications that they can now negotiate also. In practical terms, if you're currently spending, let's say, $200 to $300 a month, or even $500 on medications for, let's say, diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, blood pressure, or cholesterol, there's a real chance that your amounts are going to drop. Okay? Not someday in the distant future, but on a rolling schedule that's already began. So it's already rolling, folks. It's already happening. And please get in there, because I am not sure the specifics to the programs. Like I'm saying, get in there and check it out. You have to sign up for some of them, like I said, and there is a small window. The bill also caps annual out-of-pocket drug costs for Medicare beneficiaries, which is amazing. You only have to pay so much per year, obviously, depending on your income. And I'm not sure what other things they've set up that you would have to meet, but I know that that is the top guideline, is obviously what your income will be. That means there's now a legal ceiling on what you will have to pay in a single year, which is great. No, because I don't think that we had that restriction before, as far as I've read. If I'm wrong, please put it down in the comments. I'd like to read what your knowledge is of this bill and your knowledge of prescription prices in the past and how that worked for you. If you are a senior citizen, I'm learning right with you. So please teach us and put stuff in the comments so I can read it and pass it on to our viewers. No matter how many medications you take or how expensive they are, it is going to be negotiated and there will be a cap. For millions that has been forced to choose between filling prescriptions and eating, this is truly a life-saving bill. So for more information on this bill, everyone, refer to the Elder Care Bill. Again, I believe it was passed on either May 4th or around May 4th. I wish you all luck out there. If you're seniors, I'm right behind you. Let me know if there's anything that I should know that I can pass on to everyone. We know that you have a lot of knowledge to share with us, and I welcome your comments. And please, I also encourage them. All right, moving on. Trying not to spend too much time on just one thing around here. I'm going to talk to you guys about credit. Okay, this is something I don't usually get into, but there was also a change this month. Actually took place on May 1st for credit bureaus. And I thought I would just bring this to everyone also. A lot of us never heard of this. I never saw it on the news. Actually came across this when I was studying what to reach out with to my community with and what I thought that they would like to indeed know. So this is just a breakdown. Again, you can look up this also on new credit bureau changes. I'm sure it's on the credit bureau site. All credit bureaus are changing on May 1st, 2026. I'm going to give you the three biggest changes and just go through that really quickly. I just want you to know, so you could have 5 years. If you have like 5 years of average credit, that is good. But if you keep adding to this in the new credit bureau, if you keep adding to it, and even though you've had, decent credit in the past 5 years, if you keep adding to it, your score goes down. Okay. Those pay now loans that everyone goes to, And for a while, they would give you positive feedback. Well, don't start those, okay, anymore, because all they're going to do is now report when you're late. So you don't get credit, unfortunately, for doing things right. But if you do it wrong and you don't pay correctly, or you're behind a little bit and you're paying late, they are going to be reporting that. Not sure if they did that already. Please also, all of you out there that have had these kind of loans, let me know that too, so I can pass it on to the viewers that don't know. So you're not getting, good reports if that happens. Long-term loans is what you want. So here we go. Okay, the first thing that they're doing, and don't be blindsided, first one is behavioral-based scoring. Okay, that's the real kicker, the real change one. I'm going to come back to that one, I think, at the end, because it's a little bit longer. We're going to go on to point 2. So if you would just, if you're writing this down, point 2, we'll come back to the behavior-based scoring. This goes with the buy now, pay later, like Rent-A-Center, like kind of what I was just talking to you about, now reporting payment behavior. And when I say that, they are not reporting your positive behavior. They're reporting your negligent behavior when you're not paying a loan, or if you're paying it late, even though you're paying it, you're not getting good references for that. It's going in negativity, you can't pronounce that word, onto your credit. So just know that even if you're paying it and paying late, it's still going to be bad on your credit. Again, I'm not sure what that used to be, but that is how it's going to work now. Third one that I'm going to get into, guys, is the medical debt. Of course, most people, and this is most, not everyone, but most people out there, if they have bad credit, a lot of them have a lot of medical. And that's what tends to make their credit come down. So there's some good things and some bad things with this that just came up, okay? First one, paid medical collections. They're already gone. If you paid it, it's gone. It's being wiped off May 1st, off of your credit, okay? Gone. Which, okay, that's fine. How about small medical debts? Well, they're not going to report those anymore. That's a positive. You are not going to get reported on if you have small medical debts, whether you're paying those or paying them late. They're not going to be reported. How about reporting delays? Well, yeah, they can have delays and it can still be extended. They can, from the past, still bring up stuff to May 1st, unfortunately, and put it on. So there are some delays of perhaps bigger medical bills that haven't been put on yet. They are going to be putting those still on as of May 1st. Now, translation. What does this mean? It means medical debt is becoming less powerful. So when you go in to apply for a loan, it is less powerful. However, they can still get you, but it's still less powerful. But it's not disappearing overnight, everyone. Okay, not disappearing overnight. So just make sure that you keep reading that, all right? Large debt can still hit collections and can still exist, and lenders can still see patterns there. So make sure your patterns are the same. You're paying continuously, even if it's little amounts. Show a pattern, because they're now looking for patterns, okay? There is an agency I want to tell you about really quick. It's called Charity Care. It's a free service. Everyone, I'm not getting anything for this. It's 90% of people out there that use this Charity Care. They have reported that they help get rid of debt, and they could do it with 100% free help, no charges. So look it up. It's called Charity Care. All right. Moving on really quick. So what are they looking for with that behavior-based scoring? Let's go back to it. Number 1, it is the real game changer. It's massive change. It's a complete different way that you're being judged. This is a behavior-based scoring, not dispute-based, okay? Agency to help. You need an agency to help fix your credit. Before, credit was a snapshot, okay? What your balance is now, they want to know, did you pay on what you were paying on time? Have you been consistent? Did you pay consistently, or did you pay 1 month on time, skip a month, catch it up, do that? Doesn't matter if you catch it up, folks. They're looking for consistency. Pay the same time, the same amount every month if you are able, because that's now what they're judging in this, okay? Moving on. Now they're watching also, like I said, is your pattern. Do you carry balances every month? Do you spike usage and then drop it? Do you go in, to keep your card and all of a sudden put something on and then it's dropped? That's not going to help you. Used to help you, does not help you now. That fast stuff is not helping. You have to buy something, pay on it, pay on it, pay on it, pay it off. Okay. Again, you're looking more for a long-term loan. From what I'm reading, I have it down in here somewhere. I'll mention it again. I think it's 24 months that they would rather have. Don't take short loans. If you can stretch something out, and I know it may cost a little bit. This makes no sense. It may cost a little bit more in interest. However, that is what the credit bureau is looking for. Consistency. Okay. Doesn't help you if you go really quick. You're going to get a loan. You get to your credit cards. You put a high purchase on it and you pay it off. It doesn't matter anymore. Let me repeat this. It does not matter anymore. They're looking for patterns. Consistency. Don't spike and drop, like I said. Do you consistently max out your cards? Now that's a consistency they don't want. All right. Don't consistently max out your cards. And if you're maxing, please remember, they are looking, if they are maxed, happen to be maxed, they look at these things now that they didn't look at in the past. Are you paying it concurrently? Are you paying it on time? And is it a pattern of you doing the same thing every month? That history never mattered before, but it does matter now. Okay. FICO is a scoring they're using to give lenders more security so that they feel safer. And they're actually using FICO. This would be the lenders who are using it. So it's a long story what FICO is. I welcome you to go look it up. I didn't have time to put that in this podcast. We'd spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes on it alone. So look up FICO. It's FICO, capital FICO. Look it up. It's called FICO scoring. Okay. Now it's about consistency over time. Let's remember that. Discipline over hacks. Okay. This is why some scores are going to skyrocket. Some scores are going to plummet. Again, consistency over time and discipline over hacks. Remember that. All right. Even when you're thinking you're doing it all right, there's a good chance that you're not. So remember these new things. I've given you the basics of all of it. Please look it up, read into it more. I wanted you to be aware that it was out there so that if you went to get a loan, all of a sudden you're turned down, or if you get one and you don't really understand why, it's because of the newer scoring system. Welcome to the new America, I guess, right, folks? So anyway, I hope that helps you a little. If you have any questions, please, let me know. I'll try to answer you. I do try to get to all the questions, like I said. And my husband will try to put some of the information maybe up here in the corner if you can see it here in a minute. I'm going to move on quickly. This is from Promethean Action. I just kind of want to read through this. I'm going to read this to you quickly because I'm getting a little behind again. Promethean Action is very well ran. It is by two older women, Susan Kokinda and another lady called Barbara. Very great ladies, both in their, I would say maybe 70s, somewhere in that area. They both have been in politics since the 70s, and they are so in tune to what's going on. So if you want to learn more than I can even teach you, please go there because they teach me all the time. Again, it's called Promethean Action, and Susan Kokinda actually did this time. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to read some things to you that I took notes on, and I would like you to please pay attention. It's very important. Okay, this is what the media won't tell you about Trump. Trump brokered a peace deal, okay, this week. I don't think anyone knew that. It was between Cambodia and Thailand. They both signed this week. Again, another one. Didn't get any credit. You didn't hear about it from the news media. I wonder why, okay? Let's give our president a round of applause again, because again, he's working very hard to bring this world together. All right. In fact, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, he was the hosting country for this to happen between Cambodia and Thailand. He told everyone what he felt was unique about Donald Trump. He personally called both prime ministers. He personally called both prime ministers Trump did. Okay. He just spoke so highly of him for doing this. And this was the Malaysia, again, prime minister. And he said that he urged them for a speedy peace settlement. And he said he was grateful for President Trump, and he personally thanked him for what he had done. He also said that Trump has tenacity and courage, and they admire that because the world needs leaders who promote peace strongly. And to achieve that, you have to break some rules, as he did today. Well, let's tell you what he meant by that, all right? And this is the Prime Minister, again, of Malaysia. When he said that, he meant this. Those rules that the president broke were globalist rules. If you don't understand about the globalists, that would be the UK, used to be our friend, okay, the UN, France, China, or not, excuse me, not China, France, the UK, which would be the United Kingdom, England, you know, London, everyone, the French, the Germans, all our friends that were, all right? In addition to that peace agreement, Trump and his team were busy working bilaterally trade deals with Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia, and Thailand, in addition to working also with China, which was such a big deal. He brokered a peace agreement while working with China. What an amazing man. Okay, and he gets no credit for this. 3 of those agreements involved the vital question of strategic minerals and rare earths. But the headline grabber was primarily the trade work negotiated by Treasury Bassett, Trade Ambassador Jameson Greer, and their Chinese counterpart in advance of the Xi-Trump summit. Okay? That was basically what happened. That was what was on the front line, not about Trump brokering this peace deal. So I just wanted to bring that to you. I can't talk. I so apologize. All of the key sticking points have been met. And this is with China that I'm now talking about. All the de-escalation of the trade war, American agriculture, lifting China's restrictions on the export of rare minerals. Number 3, joint action on fentanyl. Okay, they're working with us on fentanyl, not being made, not being crossed by lines or countries. Trump was very confident this would work out, and you ask why? Because unlike the Anglo-American types on both sides of the pond, I just told you who they were, he's not negotiating from the standpoint that the U.S. and China are adversaries. They want China and the United States to fight, and we're not. Trump is breaking peace with the entire world, and they do not like it. They being the United Kingdom and everyone in Europe. A reporter asked him, if one power loses, the other power wins, right? Meaning between China and the U.S. You know what Trump said? His response was he didn't think China should be worried about the U.S. making deals with countries around them, because he was talking about the countries that he had brokered peace deals with, because they are all around China and they're right in China's backyard. He said, because whatever deal that China and the U.S. make, it's going to be a good one also. And he has no intentions of doing anything wrong to China, which they greatly respected. He doesn't think one-sided. He doesn't think one side has to lose. One side has to win. He thinks like a leader of a sovereign nation, which we are, who respects the sovereignty of other nations and knows that if the pie grows, guess what? Everyone gets a piece, right? It's interesting to look back 8 years ago in Vietnam. Trump gave a remarkable speech. I'm going to quote him here. He said, a vision for the world which threatened to drive a stake into the heart of the GOP political model was faced here. If we do this, we look at the global a half a century from now. If we do this, we look at the global a half a century from now, and we see the marvel at the beautiful consolation of nations, meaning that we're working nation to nation and not having someone speak for these smaller nations. They're able to do their own work. We don't have the UK coming in. We don't have Germany coming in and brokering peace for another country. Trump feels that we should be talking to one another. You know, if we're going to make an agreement with China, we should be talking to China. Vietnam, we should be talking to Vietnam, not having people in between. Because each country is different and unique, and each shining brightly is what we will see if we look at this a half a century later, and we've done it. And proudly throughout this region of the world, we will inspire. Okay. Trump isn't where he was back, in his first term when Russiagate was going on and people were backstabbing him, including his own administration. He's a different person now. Trump 2.0 is going for it. And who knows what he's capable of this week. And we have a long list of things that he did accomplish, right? He has thrown out the possibility of also meeting North Korea's Kim Jong-un during the South Korea part of the trip. I sure hope he does. I'm sure Trump would really love to resume the negotiations that were sabotaged in 2018 by John Bolton, who threatened with Korea with the Libya mob, which is the equivalent of saying the Gaddafi treatment. And we all know that that wasn't great. And for those of you that don't know about Gaddafi, please read about him. You'll learn what that statement meant. Just to give you a little history and to move on, John Bolton, the one I was just talking about, good old John Bolton. Well, guess what, folks? He may have been sabotaging us back then. Now, guess what? Happily, I can tell you he's now under investigation and indictment under the Trump Justice Department. I hope he gets everything that's coming to him. Great job, Bolton. Told you what comes around goes around. I'm sorry, there's a train going past. Can't stop that. What comes around goes around, John Bolton, and you're going to get yours. Okay? Every one of these, and this is what I want to tell you and expand upon just really quick. Every one of these negotiations bypasses the multilateral institutions, whether it's TTP or UN or UV or the World Trade Organization. This is what it boils down to, what he's doing with China and the rest of the world. It boils to this, everyone. Trump is proving that sovereign nations can cooperate directly without these supernatural bureaucracies being over them. And that's what terrifies the British establishment, which we call the globalist, or AKA, what is that called, Chuck? The one world order. That's right. Okay. Because if Trump succeeds in replacing globalist institutions with nation-to-nation partnerships around the world, the entire, and I mean the entire post-world control structure collapses. Folks, that means that we're going to be free. Other nations are going to be free. Free to make our own deals, free to make our own mistakes, free to make our own negotiations, and of course, free to win. We no longer have globalists over us telling us who we are, what we are, when we can do it, how we can do it, what we can be, what we can't be. We're not going to be socialists or communists, everyone. We are going out there and teaching the world. That's right, teaching the world that we can get along one-on-one, and the world is worth saving, and no one needs to speak for us as a nation. Okay? If Trump succeeds in replacing the globalist, just know the world will be a better place. So if you haven't heard of this 80-year globalist institution, I encourage you to go and read about it and watch Promethean Action. It's also because that mainstream media that we talk about instead of the podcasters, the mainstream media, well, they won't connect the dots. Number one, they're not smart enough, I don't believe. Their owners and editors, though, are they're part of this system that Trump is definitely dismantling. So don't look to them for the answers. Look to us podcasters who are telling you the truth. Or look to the Freedom Fighters podcast, Promethean Action, Joel Morrow's TrueLife is great. Go to him too. TrueLife News is one of the top. I encourage you to do that. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to end with is Mark. Let's see here. Mark Carney, I believe I was going there. No, I'm going over here really quick. I already told you about that, so I'm going to kind of try to hit on because I'm going really quick. My husband's going to come here. I'm getting long. And you're going to kill me because I know nobody likes to sit this long. So I just want to let you know really quick that President Xi and President Trump made great strides this week. They brokered unheard of deals between them, and it is growing so well. China won't give one of them was China won't give any weapons to Iran. He said this himself. The leader of China, Xi, told Trump that he will make sure that weapons to Iran or military equipment does not happen. Trump took the A-team to China and he set the law down. And, I have to give it to President Xi. He also tried very hard to accommodate him. We can look at it like he's in a corner, or we can look at it like we're going to be friends. Let's just look at it like that. Maybe we can actually work through things and, make our world a better place. Let's hope. China's not known for keeping promises, but leaked information from the White House, according to Joel at TrueLife News, mere hours before POTUS sat down with President Xi from China. The report came out that China was maximizing its advantage over the U.S. by exploiting the war with Iran. So this is where, in over a 2-hour meeting, they talked about what was going to come out, and Trump made his 6 points of what needed to be done. That is China's going to be doing a lot more business with the United States, buying a lot more from us. And we made some deals that's going to be putting everyone in a good place. In fact, Elon Musk even commented about it and said that everything looks good, that they have made some great deals, and that he thinks that this will be a better place for everyone. And this deal will be a better action for everyone. He's got the art of the deal, doesn't he? Trump does. He's got confirmed wins here. Okay, moving on really quick. I've got 2 other things to let you know, maybe 3, and this is going to be quick. We also have our Vice President, JD Vance. I don't want to forget him. He's an amazing Vice President, perhaps the best Vice President that I have ever seen in my lifetime, and I am almost 60. We love JD Vance. We love Marco Rubio too, but I love JD. And JD is working with Dr. Oz across the nation to bring down fraud and abuse. Okay. We know that's going on really bad in California, Minnesota, Michigan, even other states we know. JD Vance is making some big bombshell news and has announced that they're now holding billions of dollars from the state of California. Like, we didn't see that coming, right? Because California doesn't want to take its fraud seriously. In fact, you know what I heard today? And I don't even have this written down. That lame governor, Newsom, yeah, him. He bought iPads for all the prisoners. Okay, I've seen him in other prisons. That's fine. He gave them no restrictions. It was to be used to contact family and to get ready with attorneys and whatever needed to be ready for trial. Do you know what they find out? 80% of the men using those, and he paid millions of dollars for these things, are looking at porn. That's right, I said it. Porn. That's what they're doing with their tax dollars out in California. He did no studies before putting them in there. He put no controls on them. This man has no smarts. Newsom calling him that is like a compliment. He should be new dumb, something like that, because he is not smart, folks. They're watching porn. Oh, that's a big surprise, right? So let's see how they handle that one. And the millions of tax dollars that were used to get those, by the way. Because California doesn't want to take its fraud seriously, especially concerning Medicare and Medicaid payments. Vice President JD Vance and Dr. Oz announced that they're going to kick out over 800 fraudulent healthcare providers off the Medicare system. And let me tell you, when they did that, and they just did it, not one of 800, that's right, of the 800 providers that they let go called to see why they were let go and to get back on the program. The government, is giving you money to go to people who need it. And what are you doing? Well, that's the kind of in-your-face crap that we finally have an administration that's stopping it. Thank you, JD Vance. Thank you, Dr. Oz. Continue the good work. The freedom fighters are behind you and America's behind you. Okay, next, Education Secretary Linda McMahon. She's officially blocked over $60 million in fraudulent student loan applications. It's another whole story. They found 10,000 students this week from China that were misusing the program. that they were brought over to the United States to participate in. Different companies were set up for these people to work at. They didn't work at them. They're taking money home. They're taking secrets home. Hoping President Trump is paying attention to this. Hoping JD Vance maybe will get in on this. But thank you to Education Secretary Linda McMahon for stopping this. No more stealing from us taxpayers. That's what we say. No more stealing. Thank you, McMahon. We appreciate you. Also, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp. Well, he said something really great too. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp has officially called a special session to redistrict the state of Georgia. Way to go. Finally. Come on, Georgia. We're behind you. Indiana pulled stuff out. Georgia, we know you guys can get yourself together. The union needs you. Please help lead us. Take who you're voting for seriously. All right. We are going to add the GOP I'm talking about. We're going to add 2 seats. Thank you, Georgia, for those seats. And the last thing, this makes me the happiest, and I just had to bring it to you. I'm sorry if you like this person. I do not. He has hurt every American almost as bad as Fauci. Although we didn't die, we sometimes wanted to because we didn't have any money or anything else, and a lot of it was due to this man in addition to the government 4 years spent under Mr. Biden. But, and I'm not going to call him President Biden because I don't believe that he was elected by the people. However, that being said, good news. Jerome Powell is on his way out, guys. Yep, I said it, on his way out. Federal Reserve Chair nominee Kevin Warsh has been confirmed by the Senate, and he is the new Federal Reserve Chair. Congratulations, Kevin Warsh. Get in there. Get these interest rates right. Work it right. Okay? We understand that the Federal Reserve is not a part of the government, but you work hand in hand with us. Take your job seriously, Kevin. President Trump believes in you and put you there for a reason, really wanted you there. He didn't put you there, but sort of did put you there. Congress helped with that, obviously, but please, we're asking you, take our country seriously. Take all countries seriously. But thank you for jumping in there and going to do, what is hard. And that means cleaning up this nation. So everyone from across the United States, if you're out of the United States, I want to say that Chuck and Joe and the Freedom Fighters love you. We appreciate you. And I want to leave you, from our home to yours. Thank you for being with us. As always, keep flying, reaching for the stars. And remember, our freedom is worth fighting for. Thank you.